Hi there, I'm Nicole. Welcome to SportsCenter. A comeback for the ages at the Garden, or would you say a collapse? Meanwhile, the Miz throwing flames in the Windy City. Wait.
You're not going to say my name?
What are you doing here?
Wait.
You look different. Anyway, this is SportsCenter. Let's go.
I thought I worked here.
Kids from Stephen F. Austin University are here again. They are fired up. They're sitting in the bleachers. And an errant first pitch almost picked off a photographer.
Put that finger down.
Well, stand clear of the Velvet Road because tonight's NBA guest list is packed. Stephen A., Wilbon, Big Perk, all posted up in VIP tonight. And they, like the rest of us, witnessed some absolute madness in Madison Square Garden. Game 1, Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks and the Cavs. New York last played a game 9 days ago.
Welcome back, by the way.
Cleveland 2 days ago. You didn't act like you wanted me here. So, look, Cleveland had a 2-point lead at the half. With 8 minutes to go in the third, they're building on that lead. Donovan Mitchell with the strip takes it for the other way. The lead is 8. A couple possessions later, here come the Knicks. But watch Evan Mobley. Blocks Josh Hart. Now Cleveland in transition the other way. James Harden finds Mobley. Mike Brown calls the timeout because the Cavs had a 9-point lead that was their largest of the game at that point. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third. It's 81-67. Mitchell takes on Jalen Brunson. He had 29 points. The Cavs were up 16. They got up to 22. And entering this game, teams up 22 in the fourth quarter were 594-1 over the last 30 postseasons. But Jalen Brunson was like, yeah, we are down, but we are far from over. He gets the floater. 5 minutes to go. The lead is down to 15. Brunson, the moves on Harden. It's a 12-point game. Less than 4 to play. Brunson out here packing up dudes like UPS. Knicks are down 8. And then Brunson pulls up for 3. Won't he do it? 18-1 run by the Knicks. They are down just 5. And the Garden is going insane. We got a minute to go. They're down 6. Mikal Bridges in the corner for 3. Patrick Ewing's like, can you believe this? Larry Johnson's like, I believe. 50 seconds to go. Landry Shamet for 3. Oh, he got all the rolls to tie the game at 99. What is happening? Next Cavs possession. Harden, one-on-one with Brunson. Takes him in the paint, gets room. And he gives Cleveland the lead again at 101-99. But the very next possession is Brunson blowing past Harden again. Ties the game at 101. So the final seconds, the Cavs don't give to Donovan Mitchell. James Harden has it, but instead gives it up to Sam Merrill for 3. Oh, it was almost win. But it wasn't. It wasn't a win because it wasn't in. We are going to OT. Kenny Atkinson's squad has to be stunned in the extra frame. The Knicks take the lead. The first time they had the lead in the entire second half. Then Brunson, he does this. 2 more if it's 38. The lead is 4. OG Anunoby just Bogart his way to the rack. Knicks up 6. And then Shamet, another 3 from the wing. Holy mollywop, Batman. The Knicks went on a 44-11 run to end the game to win game 1, 115-104.
I got to give my group credit. They've been resilient all year, and I don't know if I've seen that in a playoff game. I don't know if I've been a part of it. Maybe I have. But to be down 18, 19, 20, whatever we were down, and to find a way to come back and win. I take my hat off to my group.
Keep fighting, keep chipping away. You know, we're not going to get it back in one possession. Most importantly, sticking together. You know, no matter how that game finished, habits translate, and so they get translate to the next game. So just finishing the game strong.
Anyone watched us last year when we was in Boston? I feel everyone counted us out in those first 2, and we did exactly like this. So shout out to our team, the grit we showed, the resilience that we showed, and of course Jalen Brunson was special. Our team showed up defensively in the fourth and overtime, and that's how we're going to leave MSG tonight with a win.
Jaylen just was a little bit more aggressive, and so, you know, I think we just allowed him to be aggressive, and he made shots, and he continued to make shots. And then, you know, once he got going, then we, you know, OG and the supporting cast made shots as well.
It's one game. We could have lost by 40. Still would have been 1-0. So just watch the film. We played in 3 quarters or so. We'll make adjustments and go from there. We lost. We blew it. All right, let's round for game 2. Simple as that.
Let's hope for their sake it is that simple.
Yep.
Because it didn't feel like
Didn't feel like it, though.
Because this game was just absolutely bananas, and no shock that MSG would give it to us, right? Over the final 12 minutes and 40 seconds, the Knicks outscored the Cavs by 33 to erase what was, again, a 22-point deficit. Jalen Brunson by himself, Briscoe, made twice as many field goals as the entire Cavs team during that span.
Hello now to Stephen A. Smith. I would imagine he's feeling pretty darn,
probably, right?
Yeah, right. Hi. How are you feeling after watching that Knicks team do what they did, particularly the final minutes of that game?
Relieved, Nicole, absolutely relieved. I mean, they looked absolutely awful for more than 3 quarters of the game. And then after that, it was 7 minutes left. They were down 22, and then all of a sudden, Jalen Brunson goes ballistic and literally should be arrested for the assault that he put on James Harden. Just abused him at every single turn. Annihilated him, kept going by him, scored like 5 or 6 straight baskets, and then it got to a point where seemingly anybody, whether it was Mikal Bridges, whether it was Brunson, whether it was Landry Shamet, anybody who attempted a shot, it was James Harden in the vicinity. It ain't just Jalen Brunson that should be arrested for assault. It's the rest of the Knicks, because everybody at that point was targeting James Harden because he couldn't stop a cold. It was just that simple. But up before then, up before the 7-minute mark, when they were down by 22, they looked beyond rusty. They looked lethargic, like they had been chilling for the last 9 days, eating pizza and Lord knows what else. They did not look like the New York Knicks we had seen win 7 straight playoff games, but thank goodness it didn't last the entire game.
That was like 2 different teams.
Yeah, right. But look, once you get to the playoffs, we've seen crazy games before, and one loss is just one loss, whether it's by 1 or 30 or this dramatic comeback. But my thing is, if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers fans right now, if your team could not respond in the moment to that run in the 4th quarter and then get blitzed in overtime, how can you respond in game 2 at all?
Was a very legitimate question. We'll see if they have an answer. I don't think they will. Last year, when the New York Knicks blew their first game against the Indiana Pacers, we knew they were in a world of trouble because it was that devastating of a loss. I think this was even worse for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was unquestionably a choke job. Make no mistake about it. It was a choke job. You can't collapse like that. Where was Donovan Mitchell in the last 7 minutes to stop the bleeding? He was nowhere to be found. James Harden had tied it at 99, but that was the only thing he did right other than drawing an offensive foul from Brunson in the last 7 minutes. Aside from that, he was getting abused by every Knick in sight. So when you have that going on, you know it's a problem. And why did it end up that way, Nicole and Michael? It's very, very simple. Mike Brown deserves a lot of credit because what he did was he took Josh Hart out of the game. And as a result, by putting Shannon in there with Brunson, what happened is you couldn't hide Donovan Mitchell and James Harden defensively any longer. And that's what happened. You had 2 guys that looked to stroke it from deep and are fully capable of doing so. So it drew somebody like Harden and Mitchell out, more so Harden than anybody else, which is why he was targeted. So you end up losing a 22-point lead. You end up spending the last 7 minutes of regulation and overtime getting outscored 44-11. That is a demoralizing situation to be in, especially when you came to New York just to get one. And this is the one that you had. In all likelihood, I can't imagine them getting game 2. They're going to be in an 0-2 hole, and it's going to be virtually impossible to imagine them doing what they did against Detroit, winning 4 of the last 5 games to win this series and get to the NBA Finals. I'd be shocked if a team this demoralized, clearly and visibly, is going to come back from a defeat of this nature. It's not just a loss. It's how you lose like that.
Yeah, they
it's
had
devastating.
They had it.
Yeah, and in terms of how this thing played out by the time they got to the end of overtime. Stephen A., appreciate the time, man. I wonder what First Take is going to be like.
Oh, it's going to be nice. It's going to be orange and blue skies, baby. Orange and blue skies.
Kittens and rainbows.
You've been very, very, very rude to Danhausen. So unfortunately, you are cursed.
The New York Knicks
I guess you can be uncursed temporarily until I decide otherwise. Temporary truce of some sort. Sure, they are